spoon art. Cool. Oh, I got hit with a commercial straight out the gate. Oh, look, it's a how to lose your toes machine. Alright, you can't even see that. Blah, yeah, it looks like fun. Let's say some hellos as you stare into the spoon. Kevin and Carol, all the prayers. Mary Maria Ann with the 10, thank you very much. Going towards ridiculous parking activities. It's an event, so it's $50. $50 a friggin' park. Although I can say, they are better at air conditioning than MGM properties. It's actually pretty cool in here, so I'm gonna get my money's worth. Janice, Bill, John O. Oh, new Roku TV. Shout out Roku. Venus, Jim, Tom Lars. What's going on, brother? Oh, we gotta talk. Sony. Yeah, how about that Bitcoin? I think today, being that we haven't done one in a while, I think we're going to do a portfolio checkup. See how everyone's portfolio is doing. We haven't done it in quite a while. So I think it's about time. Mark, member for 55 months. Wow. You are the OG, and shout out UK, and thank you very much. How you doing, Bert? Let's see who else is here. I just saw something else come in. Janice with the 20. Thank you very much. Cheers to the end of a very long week. Yes. Yes. 100% yes. It's been a long week. It's been a long road getting from there to here. I watched an episode of, what was it? Star Trek Enterprise. Oh, that song is just cringe. Steve Six, what's going on? Alan Stewart, long time no see. What up, Brooklyn in the house? Alan, all the way from the Brooklyn, showing up. Cool, cool. Chris K, Captain Lope. Who else is here? What do we got? 81 people. That's a good start. I'm digging it. All right, let's de-zoomify the frickin' spoon. What else we want to zoomify? I want to zoomify this frickin' coffee. I'm into it. Just started watching Ballard. What's Ballard? I don't think I've ever heard of that one yet. I saw a good movie. We're going to talk about... Oh, let me write that down in my... Let me write this down real quick. You know I keep notes. Got to keep myself on track. There's two things I want to talk about. And you just hit on one of them. Alright. Yeah, there's two shows I want to talk about. What's the other one? Yeah, Bang. I'm not going to spoiler it just in case, but... Alright. Got my notes. Got my coffee. Spoon photography is awesome. Bosch is pretty good. I do like Bosch. I was in Lowe's picking up some paint the other day, and I was looking at Bosch appliances. You know, they want like $1,200 for a Bosch washing machine. I mean, it looks nice and everything, but, you know, it better wash the car, too, for $1,200. Paramount, Porkenstein, who else is here? Everyone is hopping on. Cool. Alright, let's build this coffee real quick. Being that I've had absolutely zero carbs today, I'm gonna put in some real sugar. Really make my day. Oh, and the girls are back in town. They told me, like, where have you been? I'm like, where have I been? I've been here every Friday. And she caught me, though. Haley's like, you weren't here last Friday. It was 4th of July. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I haven't seen them. Mercedes and Haley are here. That's cool. So I ought to enjoy this freaking coffee for sure. For sure. I'll put one fake one in. F it. It was in bed. Yeah. It was 100. Yeah. It right now, when I got out of the vehicle, Alan, it was 108. 108 degrees. Well, granted, last year, the same exact week is when it had that week of solid 120s, which, whatever. But yeah, it's 108. But the broken sun it's just piercing levels of sun. You can't stay out there for, it's just minutes. Brutal. There's a chance tomorrow night I might go, I'm not going to walk around. I might start here again, but I do want to go and show everyone the What over at, next door, over at Hard Rock, formerly known as the Mirage. I want to go check that out. Because they're moving right along. I think I could tolerate like 10 minutes out, and then that's it. Then I gotta cry uncle. I'll take the stairs. Oh, let's see. Oh shit! Another they're picking on me now. Another freaking commercial right out the freaking gate. 7 minutes in, I got 2 commercials already. Bastards. You'll be in town on Wednesday night? Cool. I should be around. Charlie M. 108. Oh, and I was out, what was it, last night? I was out about 9:45, and it was still 104 at 9:45 at night. That's what sucks, you know, there's no rest from it. You don't get to just, oh, okay, sun went down, it cooled off. No, just no. 104 degrees at, when I got up the following morning, no, that was 2 nights ago. I wasn't out last night. The following morning, I got up at 6:25-ish, and it was already 96 at 6:25 in the morning. Ugh. It's gross. All right. Blump. Got a good walk in? Nice. All right, let's turn this around. Come on, flip. Down. There we go. What up, people? Alright, let's dig some coffee. I think I got one of these pictures right? I don't chew. I don't stick inanimate objects in my mouth. Like people chew on pens and pencil. I never bit my fingernails in my entire life, thank God. I never, like, I see people chewing on their glasses and stuff like that. I never had that fixation. But, yeah. Alright, let's see. Well, that's a good one. No. Let's see. Make fish. Oh, that's a good one. All right, we'll go with this one. Wait, I gotta flex. All right, thumbnail. I'm in a good mood today. Have you figured that out? I'm in a good mood. Well, all right, put that to the side. All right, let's get some coffee in this. And we got plenty of time tonight. We got almost 2 hours. Oh, that's good. First cup is never all that hot. I don't know why that is. But we got things to talk about. But first, for all of you who aren't already subscribed, I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell button, get notified when I do this again, which is at least 2-ish times a week. And if you want to support the channel, I got the links, I got the stuff. Yeah. And Super Chat is the grease that keeps the wheels rolling, as well as Cash App and Venmo. I'm Cash App and Venmo friendly. Yeah. So I appreciate it. And where it goes is parking and coffee. I mean, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a get-poor-slow scheme. I just love doing it. All right. That's good. You're in a good mood tonight, too? Mary, that is awesome. I'm seeing some faces We haven't seen in a while. Yeah, we got to Janice. You're right. Let's get to 26.3. We got to 26.3. I don't know what I did to piss off those 100 people, but they blew the coop, and we've been hovering at 2. It's crazy. But it is what it is. It's not about the score. Marie Bella, you don't have that fixation either? Yeah, like I said, inanimate objects and whatever, but, this is one of them things. One of them things. Kevin Campbell, how you doing? Monroe, I just got your text, so I will reply to that, and I'll offer up, yeah, that sounds good. Definitely. I didn't mean to shake my finger at you, but, yeah. I'm very animated today, and I'll probably be way more animated after this cup of coffee. Who else is here? Mike K is in the house. Oh, we're on top messages. That blows. That blows, chunks. Bruce, how are you? 20 years ago, this week over. Oh, really? In Chicago? Wow. No glitter, but you smell great. Bill, that's a trip. Chicago, huh? That's crazy. I have a shirt saying that. They just lit up the music just now. Alright. So everyone's in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. So let's get talking about a few things. I'm gonna get a couple more sips of this here coffee, and then we'll blast off. So you want to, okay, I'll put it up to you guys. You want to do portfolio check first? Do you want to talk about alligators? What I will mention is, I'll kick off with this. Prime Day ends, I think at midnight or whatever. Prime Day ends in a couple of hours. I could do the Amazon link shit, but I stopped that, 6 months ago. You won't see any Amazon links down there because Amazon retail can eat a bag. They rip me off. They literally rip me off. I mean, they rip me off. Anyway, so they can eat a bag. Not AWS, separate thing. So there's no links in the description. However, I will say, why am I pointing my finger? I feel, what am I, a school teacher? I'm Sister Rose Ellen in the first grade in the school I went to. This has been the best, what's going on, Jeff? This has been the best Prime Day ever. Like, literally ever. Maybe it's just isolated to me, but there's two things that made it good. One, they didn't F around with the shopping cart. They did not F around. Like, I put a bunch of stuff in the shopping cart. Like, the day before, some of them, raised the price in order to lower it. They did that, but they still lowered it nonetheless. But it's been the best Prime Day. The best. I mean, we're talking like 20 to 50% off. I mean, they didn't even do that for Black Friday, Cyber Monday this past year. So they must be hurting. I don't know, but I got some stupid good deals. Stupid good deals. Like, I couldn't say no to them. I mean, they were good. So if you are inclined or you do need something off of Amazon, go ahead and take a look. The cool thing about it is when you're searching for something, at the top, I mean, maybe it did before, but maybe I missed it, but you can press the button that says Prime Day Deals, and it'll filter it with only the deals. You don't have to weed through all the bullshit, I got 3 new lights for the hallway. I got like a hallway that connects everything and whatever, and I got 3 of them matching this, and it was like 65% off. I got 3 for the price of the 1 just about. It was sick. I mean, I just couldn't afford not to. That not only are they, I'm trying to tone down. I went to the LEDs, and I find like the bright white ones give me, by the end of the day, I just got a headache. And it doesn't agree with me. But these, not only they were cheap. I got, all right, I'll tell you. There was 3 of them for $35 in brush. I mean, they could be crap when they show up. I send half the stuff I get from Amazon back. 3 for $35. that was nuts. They're 11 inch. They go close to the ceiling. They're modern, you know, LEDs. They have check this out. They have a motion sensor in them. So you could set it for motion sensing. So at night, it's like a runway. You know, if I gotta go use the can or I want to go drink some water, even though I have like a little fridge in the bedroom. Pro tip: if I want to go do something, it'll light my way down the hallway as I trigger them. Cool. And in nightlight mode, not full blown, you know, what the hell mode. It goes into nightlight mode, so it lights your way along the. It's freaking cool. $35 for 3 of them. And and then you can color adjust them. So it starts out at like it goes from like 2700 Kelvin to 6000 Kelvin. So I'm gonna make it like slightly warm. And yeah, I don't like that bright glaring, you know. $35. $10 a piece. That's sick. That's sick. So if there's anything that you want. Mary, you did some damage too. Yeah, if there's anything you want, just jump on it. Just, you know, now's the time. Filter it out and go. I mean, I'm not ready to do my Christmas shopping, but there's some other things I want. I got a pair of K-Swiss. You know, I mean, they are what they are. I got a pair of K-Swiss sneakers that would normally, it's not an expensive brand, but if you go to Dillard's, they're like $150. Regular price on Amazon was $89. You know what I paid for them? $34.99. And they're sick. They're like black with like white and black zigzag soles and shit with the K-Swiss tag. You know, it's a brand. I mean, they're not Stefano Ricci's, but it's a brand. For $35. How do you pass that up? I mean, the way I wear sneakers, I mean, I don't wear them every day. Those things will last forever. I'll wear them, you know, once every couple of months. For $35. I mean, I'm not gonna spend $1,000, but $35. Yeah, I'll reach into my pocket for $35. I'll find. I'll dance on the strip. I'll get $35. I ain't worried about it. So, Prime Day is cool. Prime Day this year is on point. I think I can find a new cell phone. Yeah, you probably can. But just when you're shopping for cell phones, I knew because I used to have a link in the description. When you're shopping for cell phones on Amazon, make sure that the carrier that you're using is listed. They'll say like, you know, the Samsung whatever S25 Ultra. It'll be like Verizon. You know, it'll be another one. You'll have to look for one that says T-Mobile, AT&T. They're very specific. If you get like an unlocked one that, you know, you could just put onto any carrier, you'll pay a premium. Holy shit. 19 minutes in. This is my third commercial. Oh, poor doggy. What happened to you, doggy? Oh. Sponsored by PETA, whatever it is there. Help dogs survive the summer sun. I seen this woman yesterday. I had to go to, I went to El Super and I went to the Dollar General or whatever the hell it was next door. And there was this woman, homeless. And I'm like, what? It made me do a double take. You know, she had a dog with her. And I couldn't figure her out because she was wearing like yoga pants and a sports bra, and she had this enormous set of stripper boobs. I mean, out to here, like giant. I was like, cool, good on you, you know. But she was homeless, and she had, you know, some tattoos and whatnot. And she had the dog out there, and this poor dog was like panting, and she had a shopping cart full of shit. And like a backpack full of shit that was all covered with dirt. And I was just trying to figure it out. I'm like, how'd this chick with this enormous fake rack end up on the street? Not that I have a problem with fake racks. I mean, if you could touch them, they're real. That's my position on it. I couldn't math it. The math just wasn't mathing in my head. I'm like, how's that possible? And she wasn't unattractive. She was, you know, she was fairly attractive. Considering, all things considered, that she was homeless. And I'm just like, I couldn't math that. So I go inside, and I got a couple things. I got some ibuprofen. Yeah, I eat Chinese ibuprofen if I have to once in a while. What else did I get? I got a couple of things, a couple of minor things. Oh, they have the best. They have by far. I'll put it up against anyone's. They have like some off-brand freaking very low carb buffalo wing sauce, the orange shit. I put that on everything. I put that on my eggs. It's just good. It's just good. It's just so balanced. So I get it that there. It's $1.50, whatever. Just some minor things. And like I'm on there. I think my whole bill came out to like $11 or whatever. And I said to the register chick, I was like, "What's up with this?" Because she was right outside the door of the Dollar General. I'm like, "What's up with that situation over there?" Because I'm thinking she probably lives in Summerlin, in a $700,000 house, and she's just perpetrating a fraud, getting money off of people. But then I'm looking at the dog. The dog isn't like, like panting up a storm, but the dog was chubby too. The dog was fat. And I'm like, what's going on with that? I was like, she'd been there? And she's like, yeah, she's been hanging around a couple of days, and people have been giving her stuff and bringing her water and whatnot. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna be back. I said, I just didn't know how to deal with it. I'm just like, giant fake boobs, giant boobs. Let's not even call them fake. Giant fake boobs, tube top, yoga pants, and a cart full of her stuff. And it was just like, I was having like a divide by zero error. However, I went back in. Well, I never left. I go back in. I bought a thing of water, right? So I said, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it. I got the water, and then they got like a little pet aisle thing there, and they had like this little collapsible bowl jam that was like $2, and the water was like $2-3, whatever. So I figured, I'm not gonna hand her water and just be like, oh, here's water. So I went out. So I went, paid for it, the $5, whatever. I'm out the door, and I'm, So I walk up to her, and I'm like, I almost trip over these things. I'm looking down the barrel of them, and she looks up, and she's like, hi. And I'm like, how you doing? Whatever. But I'm taking a good look at her, BBLs? Yeah, BBLs are out. Ugh. I heard BBLs smell. I never got close to one. Well, maybe I have walking around, but that woman just turned around. I said BBL, and that woman just turned around. It's like, is this something we should know? Something you're trying to tell us? What's going on, Captain Dave? So, I'm looking real close at her, and she's got makeup on too, but she's dirty. She wasn't like, she didn't stink, but not that I was that close to her, but she's sitting down, she's not standing up. She's sitting down, I'm still standing up. So I'm like scoping. So I'm looking, and she is dirty. The clothes are dirty, unless she's totally perpetrating a fraud. She's going back to Summerlin, she's gonna drive her Mercedes, E-Class back home or whatever. Maybe could have been a pure fraud. I don't know. However, she was dirty. She had dirt on her face. She had the typical tattoos and whatnot. And I'm just like, hey. She's like, I had the water in my hand, and she's like, oh, thank you. I said, this is for your dog. And I got down to the dog level, her level, and I opened up the little collapsible water bowl, and I put the water bowl out, and I'm like, hello, dog. So I'm directing my attention to the dog. What up, dog? And it's an old dog, and it's chubby, so at least it eats. But it wasn't panting up a storm, and it was freaking 110 yesterday, right? So I put the water in the bowl, and I'm like, come on, doggy, and I gave the dog its water and whatever. And, hello, ladies. They could be sisters, Haley and Mercedes. So I gave her the water and whatnot, and I wasn't going to get into a story, but of course I'm like, what the actual F? It regardless of the situation and the big giant boobs, seeing women on the street, just that's bad. That's just bad as a society. That's bad. I mean, I mean, what? I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what that might be like if it's really that situation. I can't even. I mean, anyone on the street. Let's just be real. Anyone on the street, especially like vets, but a woman. You know, like, I mean, trust me. Many guys would take her in. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that math just blew my mind. Like, how'd she get there? You know it had to be. I mean, she had to be. I mean, she looked like she could have been working in a club, and she looks like she could work in a club. You know, take a shower, get your shit together. You know, she could work in a club. You know, make her coin, but what the hell? It had to be drugs. You know, like when she was talking, her teeth weren't the cleanest or the whitest, but. You know, she had them, so she wasn't like on the pipe or anything. But I mean, I don't know. I just know from movies. And that was just weird. That was weird. But it's Vegas. That was weird. It had to be. So she was doing that, and then she got on the pipe, and she had a bad relation. I don't know. I felt more bad. I felt the dog in the heat. Nah, it never happened. Okay. Oh. Hold everything. I see some super chat activities. Da-da-da-da-da. Jim West, my bro, what's going on? 3 ripe UK bananas. Kenny Powers, 5 bananas. Met you at... Oh, Kenny, what's going on, man? Pleasure. Yeah, I remember to this day, yeah. That is cool. Yeah, we had our matching Ancient Treasures Mjolnirs on. I remember. What up? And I do appreciate that. All right, let me get back over to messages. Bonk. All right, let's see what else here. Did I miss anyone? What are we talking about? Make sure I got everyone. Yeah, so that was the homeless boob story. I got all the stories. I didn't even mark that down. I didn't write homeless boob story on my notepad. It was a good story. I could bring it to life. You felt like you were there, right? There's certain things that I say. Women have hearing. I believe women can hear ants walk. Is that true? I know you can probably smell ants, and you can probably hear them walk, right? The senses of a woman are intense because she looks over very selectively. Like when I say certain things, she's just like, and then she turns around real quick, like I care or whatever. Extreme window tinting. Who's it? Hey, how you doing? I got ceramic tint on the vehicle. The old tint got so freaking bleached out from the Vegas sun that I got ceramic tint, like the good shit. Whoa, what a difference that makes. What a freaking difference that ceramic, the high quality ceramic tint makes. To the point where I want to put, I mean, it wasn't cheap, but I want to put it on the windows, of my place. I mean, literally, you could have like your hand up, roll the window. I mean, when the other stuff was new, but it wasn't like ceramic. It was like, I don't know, 6 years old, as old as the car. But it didn't peel, didn't scratch. The guy did an awesome freaking job, but it was faded. The vehicle from the distance, you couldn't even tell it was tinted. It just was like, it looked like factory tint sort of, but it started out as like limo tint. Well, one notch under limo tint. So this one is like, wow, I mean, you put your hand up with the window down, it's like ouch, 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 and it goes up, and it's a massive difference, massive difference. I mean, if you're on the fence about it, get it, spend the extra $100, $200, you won't regret it. I don't know how long it'll last in the sun or whatever, and they did a good job too. They did a real good job. It's tight, it's clean looking, and the vehicle looks sharp all over again. So, but what a difference getting into it in this 150-degree weather. It's like night and day. I put the thing in the windshield and whatnot. I saw when this guy was doing the tint, he was doing the same dark tint, and someone put it on their entire windshield. Besides the fact that shit's illegal, it's like, how do you see out of that? I mean, sometimes at night, if the corner's dark and I'm turning a corner, I gotta roll down the window, you know, to make sure that there's no one there. It's pretty dark. How does a human drop? Holy shit. Another one. That's commercial number 4 in a half an hour. What's this dude talking about? Tai Chi workout? Alright, whatever. Oh, that's probably because I didn't like my own video. I suggest you guys do too. I'm pointing a lot. So yeah, get the good tent. I'm thinking about putting it at the house, you know? I'm thinking about putting it at the house. I mean, if it does that much of a job, you can go, I have blackout blinds, you know, blackout like verticals, not true, they're barely blackout verticals, and then I have curtains. I have 2 layers of curtains in front, like the decorative ones, and if I want to peel them back, it's got the sheer ones in, if I want to let light in the winter, but for all intents and purposes, I don't want the fucking sun in my house, just stay out. However, you can put your hand up, so it does have a little bit of tint on it, you know, it's got tint and the low E glass and all that shit, but if you put your hand in front of the wall, you can feel it radiating from the wall, but you go to the window, it's like you feel the heat coming through, you know, like even with all the blackout type shit in there. So I'm thinking of putting that ceramic on there. It'd probably pay for itself, you know? That'd probably pay for itself. I'll tell you what. And I did it again. I'm pointing at you. I did it again. I'm gonna drink coffee. Hold on, I'm not wound up enough. And the air condition, the car isn't working as hard. Like if I, you know, when I get in the car, I generally put it down to like, you know, 70, 69. I don't like even numbers. Even numbers are assholes. I put it on like 71, 69 or whatever. And it would take a while. Like it'd finally be cooling down by the time I got in the parking lot over here. With them ceramics in there, like 2-3 minutes, I'm comfortable. I'm putting it up to 75. I'm telling you, it's a night and day difference. It's a night and day. And no, there's no links in the description. Just go and treat yourself to some ceramic if you're in the market for some tint. Let me catch up on comments real quick. Buster JC, what's going on? Sometimes you cannot figure people out. Yep. So a lot of people don't want help. A lot of people have to hit the bottom, you know? Nah. A lot of people are too proud. A lot of people are too just effed up, you know? Given a choice between the windows or the stairs, they'll jump out the window every single time. However, you know, eventually people wise up, you know, and they get a grip and they're like, I have to do what's best for me. I have to stop being self-destructive, and they decide to take the stairs, and that's just beautiful. So yeah. Be nice. All right, bro, we're invested in the story. We need to know part 2. Part 2 of what? The big booby story? No, I didn't take her home. Hey, you want to come home, use my shower? That would have been weird, right? But she did need a shower. That would have been weird. No, it wouldn't have. Or, I don't know. Whatever. Ceramic is the jam. Windows. Alan, how you doing? 8888888. 82. It's 82% UV. Is it UV or actual heat? I don't know. They explained it to me, and I was just hearing the price. You know, I was just hearing the price going. But then he's like, dude, and I'm like, dude, bro, you know. And then the trigger was pulled. You got it on your truck, Tom? Right. Night and day difference. Yep. You heard steak and eggs at Ellis Island went from, wow. Jeff, how you doing? Thanks for doing the review. I'm quite welcome. I wonder if tinted them now. Yeah, I'm thinking about tinting them. I was looking on Amazon to see what window tint was, and they had, the only one I saw was the mirror tint. And I don't think I want people like, you know, coming up to my windows and freaking checking their look and putting on their makeup and stuff, you know? I think that'd be a little weird. You know, dudes walking by, sucking in their stomach and stuff. You know, I'd have to see all that shit if I had mirrored windows. You know? I don't know. Yeah. Dark black ceramic. I'm down. Yes, windows you can do. All right, I'm into it. Durango. Oh, you picked up a Durango SRT. Nice. Alan, cool. You can slam with ads too. I keep getting gutters and solar ads. That's weird. Tintless windows are considered fish bowls. Yeah, I get that too. You ever notice that people in like, there's a certain element of people who are in higher end vehicles, you know, like your upper class Mercedes and shit like that. Some people, or even like I've seen Bentleys or whatever, that don't tint their windows. They actually want people to see them driving. You know, I don't want anyone to see. I'm just like, no, I'm good. It's expensive, but on cooling costs, yeah. I agree. 88888. Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm all about that sleep hygiene thing. I mean, I ran around with freaking electric tape and put little tiny squares on every freaking LED, and like, yeah, light just trips me out. I used to sleep, I mean, don't get me wrong, I can sleep with the TV on and the lights on. It doesn't matter. But when I'm done, I want it like black, just black. Yeah, the Amazon stuff is shit, yeah. Check on Bro Windows, yeah, come out with the gauge. Sorry, bro. Yeah, I heard about the deer. I mean, did you take him home and butcher that deer? What happened to that deer? I mean, at least you could have. Did you eat him? I would have ate his ass. Look at you now. Your dinner. Oh, let's see. Okay. We gotta talk about we got other stuff to talk about. Hold on. Let me pop on over here. All right. So what do we talk about? We talked about Prime Day. We talked about homeless hottie with giant boobs. We talked about ceramic windows. I'm covering all the topics. I don't plan any of this shit. This is just recent to keep me in check. But we are going to talk about two things. All right, so it's up to you guys. You want to do a quick portfolio check, or do you want to talk about Squid Game? Squid Game is on my mind. I want more coffee. What time is it? Yeah. I want more coffee. All right, portfolio check. Let's vote. I'm getting outside too. Does your friend who lives close by to the Sphere? Yes, Jeff, you're 100% correct. And now that isn't even cutting it because they play the sound outside that thing until like 1, 2 in the morning. It's like bang, ugh. So yeah, let's do a quick portfolio check. You ready? Portfolio check. Everyone's down with the portfolio check. All right, cool. Let's do. I fix my shirt a lot, like I'm on the friggin' bridge of the Enterprise. You ever notice how they always do that? I just don't like when it gets wrinkles. I got boobies too. Wait. Anyway, so let's get over here. All right, so I'll preface, of course, I'm gonna say it. I'm just some friggin' guy on the internet. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just some guy who does math in his frickin' sleep and follows the markets, all of them, for the most part. That all being said, does anyone remember the price of Bitcoin when I first started talking about it and telling you the power of Bitcoin and why it's going to be the world currency and fiat currency blows? It's not, okay, let's just get something straight. Bitcoin is not going up. Bitcoin is not going up. You know what's happening? Fiat currency, the dollar bill, is going down. That's why it's kind of tilted like that. Eventually we'll have to decouple it and stop even thinking about terms of what it's worth in dollars. It's like, if you think about it like this, now you can buy a nice house for like 3 or 4 Bitcoin, where like 5 years ago it'd take like 50. That's the terms people are going to have to start thinking about in the the crypto space. Like, what can you get for the amount of crypto? Eventually, all it'll take is 1 Bitcoin to buy a house. And then it'll be a half a Bitcoin. Then it'll be a quarter of a Bitcoin. Then it'll be a tenth of a Bitcoin. We'll have to stop thinking about Bitcoin in terms of the equivalent dollar value. You know? So, because the U.S. currency is freaking dead. The M2 money supply just like hung itself in the closet. It's bad. And if we go to this, $40 trillion debt that we're probably going to incur, and 47 hasn't talked about crypto in a freaking long ass time. So anyway, does anyone remember the price at which I started discussing it? I was into it before, but when I finally came out of the closet with Bitcoin, bingo, Mary, 55. I started talking about it between 55 and 57 was the first time I started talking about it. So shout out to everyone who doubled their money since we started talking about it. How often do you get to double your money? You're going to triple it, you're going to quadruple it, you're going to 100x whatever you have. Take whatever you have in your Bitcoin and times it by 100. It might take 10 years to get there, but I'm okay with that. With, what I don't have it. I don't have it. Yeah, it's going to 100x. It's going to go, it's easily going to 100x. I mean, 10x is a joke. 10x, will be there soon enough. We'll probably be at, see now, if you understand support and resistance, the resistance was at 110. It kept beating its freaking head against the 110, 110, 110, which is a doubling of your money if you're playing along. Once it broke 110, it consolidated a little bit. Remember I told you sticky numbers, 110, 105, like even numbers, even 107, 108, like those, they're sticky. But zeros and fives, 105, 110, 115, 120, those are really, 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 yeah, it will happen before 2030. Absolutely it will. Be it $1 million, no brainer. So it's gonna 10x, by 2030, easy. Anyway, those are the sticky numbers. So it was beating its friggin' brains out on the 110. Once it cracked 110, consolidated, there was a choice in the market whether it would reject it again or whether it would, that would be support. You got 110. That's resistance. 110, this is support. You get it, resistance, support, concepts. Now, once we broke the 110 and it held, it achieved 105 easy, it achieved 110, we're blowing through all the other sticky numbers. The sticky number, the next stop is again, I'm no financial dude, I'm just some dude talking shit, you do your own due diligence, don't do what I tell you because I'm just some freaking guy. The next resistance that I see on my charts is going to be 120. 120 is going to be a tough one to break. Once it breaks 120, it'll hit 125, stick around there a little bit, and then it's going to 150. Once 125 breaks, 150 is the next target. It's not going to fuck around and play games. So we're going to 150 as soon as it breaks 125. But we got to be careful. We don't have to be careful because I'm holding shit forever. I'm not spending any Bitcoin until it hits $1 million. That's me. You do you. I'm not going to be the guy like, who bought 2 Domino pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. That ain't going to be me. Oh, yeah, I bought a car by selling off my Bitcoin. Dude, you could have had a friggin' yacht, Why'd you sell? Yeah, I ain't selling until it hits $1 million. Okay. So once it hits 120, if it gets rejected off 120, it could go back down to like 105, 107, there's going to be, it's a principle. The rejection point could, come down towards the high 100s. I mean, the, 103, 104, 105, 107. It could, very well could. And that's okay, because it's still 2x from the time we talked about it, and that wasn't even a year ago. Overall, I think year to date, Bitcoin is up 107%, so, you know, more than double. Okay. If 120 holds and 120 breaks and 120 finds that consolidation of, you know, 3%, 2% up, 2% down, 2% up, 2% down, 2% up, 2% down. If it consolidates there and then breaks, next stop's 125. When it breaks 125, it'll go right to 150, because people are effed up in the head. People get FOMO, you know, they get fear of missing out. Like Nvidia. Nvidia hit 4 trillion in market cap. I mean, I sold mine, I'll admit it. I dumped my Nvidia when they split. Do I regret it? No, because I put it into shit like PLTR. So yeah. Do you know that 1 out of every 2 employees in Nvidia is a millionaire? Do you know that 1 out of 8, through their stock options and everything, 1 out of 8 has holdings of 25 million or more? Just as a company, as employees, 1 out of every 2 is a millionaire. But you see what happened with whatever the Okay, we can move on from there. I don't want to talk about Nvidia because I don't hold any Nvidia. But there was a point I was getting at. Whatever, who cares? Let's move on to Doge. Yeah, Doge hit 20. Yada yada yada. XRP is definitely on a tear. You know, I had a pretty significant holding in XRP. I backed off on it a bit, but, you know, I still hold it. It pays to hold it. I don't trust XRP as far as I can freaking throw them, because 90% of all the XRP is held by Ripple, the company that produced XRP. Wait a second. If that isn't the ultimate pump and dump, I don't know what is, because they could just cut loose and just dump on the market. But okay, but it's still worth holding some, you know? It's still worth holding some XRP. The other one we talked about, I talked about the big one. We're gonna get to the one of them. I talked about Dillard's. I told you, I like them when they you know, I've had them since $45. They closed today at $432. And that was like, not even 10 years ago. When did I first buy them? Let me think about this. 2017 or something like that, 2016, 17. You get a special dividend of $25 a share twice a year. Special dividend. It's nuts. But they're up to 400, they've been hovering, but there was a huge dip, a huge buying opportunity that I spoke on, and it went down to like in the 3s. So shout out everyone who had 50% gain on Dillard's. All right, here's another one. Did anyone forget about SoFi? Did anyone forget about SoFi? When did we talk about SoFi? When they were at $7. Where are they at now? Closed today at $21.20. I was saying it, SoFi, I mean, a lot of people got scared when they dipped down, you know, like in the 12 range. It went up to 15, 16, came back to 12 and 11-ish, something like that, you know, to tariffs and all this other shit. But I've had confidence in them. You know, the CEO has a huge bonus, a huge performance bonus. Huge performance bonus. Do your due diligence on crypto. California will give you the companies being investigated. Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, always do your due diligence on everything. Absolutely. California sucks in terms of, you know, they're trying to pass laws to steal people's crypto. Like, if you hold your crypto and don't access it on an exchange for like 3 years, they confiscate it. That's what they're trying to do. So, yeah. I mean, regulated or not, I mean, you know, you just buy it and hold it. I mean, I don't sit it on an exchange anyway. I'd only be concerned about, you know, that if I was actually holding it on an exchange. And if you're holding your crypto on an exchange, what's the word for that? Out of your fucking mind? Coinbase got hacked. Coinbase got hacked. That's predominantly where BlackRock keeps their crypto, is on Coinbase. And Coinbase got hacked. Do not, if you're self-custodying it, they cannot hack the blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain. So I'm not concerned about, what brokers stole what or whatever. I don't keep it. I'll buy from a brokerage. I'll transfer it right into my cold wallet. So SoFi is a beast. So shout out to everyone who tripled their money on SoFi. SoFi, in my opinion, is probably still going to double from here, because all we need is, there's a couple things we need. We need at least 1 or 2 rate lowerings, because they are very tied into the rates, the Fed rate and whatnot. 1 or 2 lowerings of the Fed rate, and that's, in my humble opinion, that's a $40, $50 stock. And being that we started talking about it at $7, so we're at 21 right now on the SoFi. What else is worth talking about? Nvidia, would they close at? 164, 165 for all intents and purposes. Yeah. PLTR on a tear. I mean, they closed today at 142. They're a beast of a company. 142, that could be the next Nvidia too. There's nothing gonna hold them back. PLTR, when did we start talking about them? At 20. So shout out everyone who 700% increase. That's pretty, a 7x. When do you get a 7x on anything? So you put $1,000 in, you're sitting on 7. You put 10,000, you're sitting on 70K right now. You are awesome. You're reading my mind.
I know, right?
What else was I thinking? Oh, you probably shouldn't say. They could be, Nvidia's a tough nut to $4 trillion. Yeah, Tom, 2190. I bought 2 tranches, when they were in the 21s. All right, engage new coffee. Do I regret selling my Nvidia? Listen, one of my original business mentors, I used to always have these deals and things that I used to think about, and I used to be like, damn this, oh shit, missed that, missed this, missed that, oh, finally had the money to do this and that and the other thing. And like Nvidia, like I sold it shortly after it split for like 113 or 114. But I moved it into, PLTR and stuff like that. So I did okay. I'm not gonna say no, but and SCHD because it's safe and shit like that, for like retirement purposes, nice chunky dividend. Anyway, he said to me, he's like, listen, kid, because I was a kid. He's like, listen, kid, there's always a ground floor. And it didn't even take long to think about. Like that's how I make shit like that go away. Like you'll never pick the bottom of anything, and you'll never pick the top of anything. You'll never know exactly when to sell. You'll never know exactly when to buy. It's impossible. But the overarching principle on deals that you might have missed. Some of the best deals in life are the ones you don't take. Trust me. Some of the best deals in life, whatever. There's always a ground floor. There's always a ground floor somewhere in something. So never have like regrets for not having a deal, because it could have been the smartest thing you ever did was not taking the deal. Anyway, what else we got to talk about? Dun, 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 dun. Look at SCHD just chugging along like a freak. SCHD is like, SCHD's got like one pant leg rolled up and shit. It's just like, it just sits there at 27, 28 bucks, but it's paying you that freaking dividend. You drip it back in, and it's aight. It's a piggy bank that pays you 5% a month. Well, 4% a month. kind of sweet. Keep dripping it back in, and that's the other thing. There's not that FOMO of, oh, it keeps coming, oh, I'm dripping it, but there's so much price action there that, you know, I'm not buying the equivalent amount every time I drip, but with them you are. So, you know, it's constantly multiplying. It's a good one. But I don't know shit. You don't have to listen to me. You know, I'm okay with it. What else we got to talk about? What else do you guys want to talk about? Drop some of your hold. I'm not going to tell you my whole portfolio. I'm just telling you the highlights. But, you know, my same business mentor said the best employees are dollar bills. The best employees are dollar bills. Almost as good as AI robots, but not quite, because AI robots still, you know, you got to charge their batteries and shit. But dollar bills are the best employees. You figure out a way to put them to work correctly, and they'll just work. They'll just work for you. So yeah, do it and do it and do it. Arthur, we literally learn more here than trying to study elsewhere. You're very welcome, Arthur. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm just doing what I think. You know, if I'm awake, I'm studying something. You know, I mean, that's just my nature, and math tends to come easy to me, so I could do things like that, fortunately. I mean, there's other things I suck at. I mean, you wouldn't want me to, like, perform surgery on you, but there's some things, you know, I'm pretty wise about. And, you know, there's an expression, the Dead Sea is dead because it has an inlet and no outlet, you know, and I've always found that articulating and passing along information and taking someone under wing and mentoring someone, that's not what I'm doing here, obviously, is mentoring anyone, but passing on gathered information allows you to, one, you know, you speak it, you hear it, you make it your own. You speak it, you hear it, you make it your own. You know, that's how the brain works, neuroplasticity. Yeah, I tend to know some shit. Yeah, neuroplasticity. You think it, you say it, you hear it, you believe it. You think it, you say it, you hear it, you believe it. That's neuroplasticity. So you can rewire your brain for anything. But a lot of people, if you feed on too much negativity, the neuroplasticity aspect of life will it works in both directions, good and bad, you know? So you gotta be careful what you feed yourself. You are what you eat. But if you can think about it, you can finally say it, you hear yourself saying it, you believe it, you know? That's how it works. But I just believe that, you know, I wanna pass shit on, you know? If it benefits people, so be it, you know? I don't need any, you know, whatever. I'm just blessed to be able to do it. Does that work with ladies? I don't know. The jury's out on that. There might be a slightly different cheat code when it comes to that, but yeah, mindset is everything. You are what you eat. You consume bullshit. I mean, even with my people, the Scandinavians, you know, there's another expression that says, you know, wise men, or, you know, if you know too much, you'll have a hard time being happy and peaceful when you learn too much. So sometimes I do cross into that realm of knowing too much shit, and it does, you know, it does cause me to be a little more stoic and whatever, but that's why I like doing this too. Like I said, it's not, I mean, the money and the super chats help because, you know, $50 parking and freaking $10 coffees, but at the same time, it gives me the opportunity to, you know, it's cathartic. It's very cathartic. Speaking of coffee, let's go. Okay, that's good. That's good. I like your philosophy. If I'm reading, let's just say, like, some of the chat pops up on the screen, so I don't have to look down. Charlie M, I appreciate that. Did your investments in Wyoming land appreciate it? I'm still holding. Yeah, everything's going to be AI robots soon. We'll talk. Oh, I like the questions. Keep them coming. Yeah, I'm very caffeinated, Venus. Life is hard, even harder if you're stupid. Yeah, that's true, James. 100% true. I do have a big chunk of land that I bought for like dirt cheap. The dirt was dirt cheap. It hasn't moved. It hasn't moved. I mean, it hasn't appreciated whatsoever because it's like commune level, off the grid, undeveloped still. There's water under the ground. Yeah, but it's undeveloped. It's raw. No one else has developed. It's big acreage. Like it's like Ponderosa level. But I got it dirt cheap. I paid. I'm not gonna tell you what I paid. I'll tell you what I paid per acre. Let's get out a calculator here. I paid $34 an acre. I shit you not. I paid $34 an acre for this land. 34 bucks. I mean, it's probably appreciated some just because it has to, but yeah, there's nothing out there. It's just wilderness per se, but it's cool. You know, I mean, yeah, in the winter you're not getting in and out of there without a snowmobile or, you know, like a F-150 with chains and shit, but most likely snowmobiles, you know, Sasquatches and shit. Summers, they range around like the 70s, 80s, perfect weather. Like it's a whole different thing. Yeah, like we should just, yeah, like that'll be our bug out spot. I'd have room for the whole freaking audience over there. There's a couple of criterias from, okay, I own half the mineral rights because Wyoming is chock full of oil and all sorts of shit, but you know, when right in the deed and everything, it says I only get 50% of the mineral rights, which I'm okay with. You know, so if they find oil on it or someone wants to prospect on it, you know, I would give them rights to prospect. You're not allowed to put temporary structures, so you're not allowed to put like, you know, mobile homes or it's got to be stick frame, and you're not allowed to put like fifth wheel. You can't just like sit a fifth wheel there and live out of it. It has to be on a foundation, and for some unknown reason, you cannot have a metal roof. I don't know why that's a big deal. You're not allowed to have a metal roof. I think that's because of like Strategic Air Command and, you know, the pew-pew, the giant pew-pew things, you know, intercontinental things that might be around there. I don't know. Just saying. I don't know what that's all about, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm sure it appreciates, and the taxes on it are like nothing. I mean, it's like less than $1,000 a year for the taxes, and it's freaking Ponderosa level. It's big. Paramom, you went to the store? Cool. When was the last time I visited that property? 8 years ago. I admit it. 8 years ago. Because it's a hassle getting there. Trust me, it's a hassle. I know someone out there, but it's a hassle getting out there. It's not near an airport. It's relatively secluded. It is relatively secluded. You know, we'll bug out there one day. Tamika, how you doing? Good to see you. And thank you for the 20 Bananagramas. Very nice, very kind. Yep, Wyoming or Bustorama. I like that word, bust. What a freaking commercial I just got. Damn, Buster, you getting them commercials? Wyoming is the least populated state. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, whenever I've been to Wyoming 5 or 6 times already. That's how I bought this so long ago. I bought it mail order. 34 bucks an acre. I bought it mail order. Like, I called an 800 number and they sent me shit that they printed on like a Canon printer with a business card stuck to it in a freaking manila envelope. I bought it like that, literally. Yeah, $34 an acre. It was 35, but like $34.96, whatever it was. Yeah, that's how long I've had that property. The trip about Wyoming is, I spent my entire time, I mean, I'm not short, I'm 5'10". I spent that entire time like this. Like, this is some of the biggest people you ever seen. They're like, the women are like 6'8", the dudes are like 7'5". I mean, there's some big people in Wyoming. There's some big freaking people in Wyoming. I mean, I guess you had to be like of hardy stock to survive out there. So, yeah, there's some big ass people. I felt small, Like, I was like some dudes, I was up to their shoulders and shit. Some women that wasn't so bad, that height differential thing. Some big ass people. There's some big ass people in Wyoming. And there's some good pew-pewing, and there's plenty of game out there and everything. We'll build the commune one day. You could join the commune. We lived in Windsor, drove to Wyoming for flowers, good old days, still in Severance. Yeah, Arthur, I mean, I know the area. I mean, I've done the whole, Devil's Tower. I swear that's a tree. That looks like, if you were up close to it, you'd swear that was a tree. That ain't natural. That's a freaking tree. Let's see what else. Part-time philosopher, back there, this shall pass too. Yep, this shall pass too. I'm just scrolling back for a second. Oh, gold. There's gold bugs out there. I mean, gold is, all right, at the bare minimum. I mean, gold is not terrible. I would not choose gold over Bitcoin per se. A little gold exposure goes a long way. But the problem with gold, in my opinion, is it's an unlimited supply. Unlimited supply. Like when meteors, I never knew this. I just found this out. Meteors is like a rock from outer space that burns up in the atmosphere and just turns to dust. That's a meteor. A meteorite, who knew, is one that actually hits the Earth. That's the difference between a meteor and a meteorite. They hit a meteorite, bam, hits the Earth, they find gold in it. There's gold everywhere. There's gold, literally gold everywhere, and they're gonna find new veins of it. Plus, in our lifetime, and it's not gonna be like Rumpelstiltskin and shit, spinning frickin', whatever into gold, but they are figuring out a way, just like there's artificial diamonds that are like near equal quality, but you get beat up by the woman if you give her a freaking cubic zirconia. They're gonna come up with an artificial version of gold. It's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time before someone creates gold. It's just a matter of time. So do you want to be on the receiving end hoarding gold? Exposure to it with like ETFs and stuff like that, maybe, but do you want to be on the receiving end of the day that they find gold? That's going to be, discover a way to make gold. And what the hell are you going to do with gold? It's not, yes, you can cash it and whatnot, but what the hell are you truly going to do with gold? Like people say, oh, I buy gold. Well, what are you talking about? Physical gold? Where the hell are you going to put it? Where are you going to put your gold? How are you going to, what are you going to do? Like shave a piece off? Oh yeah, I want to buy, a gallon of gas. You can shave a piece off? I mean, who's going to buy your gold? I mean, I'm not a gold bug. However, I will say about gold, it manages to keep up with inflation. It does manage to track inflation for thousands of years. Like an ounce of gold, 1,000 years ago would buy you a suit of armor. And the same ounce of gold today will buy you a Armani suit. It would have bought you a suit in the Middle Ages, 1 ounce of gold, and the same ounce of gold would buy you a suit today. So it is what it is. Gold will only be king until they figure out a way to produce it. And then it's going to be worthless. It's going to be a worthless yellow pretty rock, and that's it. You know, gold will have its day. There's always more. It's just about an endless supply, and one day they'll figure out how to make more, and through alchemy. And what's your gold going to be worth the day they announce, hey, new discovery, we figured out how to make gold in a laboratory? Because what do we use gold for? Jewelry? Does anybody buy jewelry anymore? No. Not really. What do they use it for? Electronics? What are you gonna do? Walk up to Nvidia and be like, hey, I got a pound of gold in my sack, you know? I got some gold dust here I mined, you know? I got some coins, you know, that I bought. And they're gonna be like, go F yourself. I mean, you know, you could sell it at one of those dealers or whatever, but the only plus side currently, until they figure out a way to manufacture it, which they will, guaranteed in our lifetime, someone will be like, we made gold, or maybe they already do. And I don't want to be holding that bag, but who are you going to sell it to? How are you going to, if you had to go, if there was a natural disaster, what are you going to take? Well, the gold you've been saving, 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds of gold, and traded for frickin' 45 long colts? I mean, it's problematic. Gold is problematic. With Bitcoin, if you can remember your 12-seed passphrase in your head, you're done. You don't have to carry shit, you know? But anyway, so yeah, for me, it's a hard pass on the gold, because I know eventually in our lifetime, someone will create it. And it's fungible, but where? You know, in shady frickin' strip malls, some guy, I buy gold, like 10 of them in town, I buy gold. Okay, you know, and then what? Then you go and sell your gold. You don't think there's people in the parking lot outside the I Sell Gold stores just waiting for people to come in and out of there so they can clobber you in the frickin' head and follow you home? No, gold to me is another commercial. Holy shite. Gold to me is a pass. They're shiny, pretty rocks. That's about it. Maybe one day I'll get some gold teeth, Frank. That'd look good. $20 gold bought in the suit and then 30. Yeah, exactly. Chris, yeah, exactly. You know, gold, that's one saving grace of gold. It tracks with inflation. So, Costco sold gold for $2K up to, yeah. Ms. Google, how you doing? Alan, you love gold, but just think about it. Just always stay in the back of your head. They're gonna make this shit one day. They are going to make it. And then what you gonna do? You know, like that. You just have to think about that. What are you gonna do? What is it gonna be worth? It's not gonna be worth a lot. So you gotta be cautious. You know, I wouldn't put all my eggs in that. Having a little exposure here and there, sure. So, you know, like people who don't want exposure to Bitcoin, you know, will buy, you know, MSTR. You know, who's that, like $45 or whatever? All right, good on you. Or the ETFs by BlackRock, but you don't really own it. You don't really own it. And I think Michael Saylor I don't trust him. He wants to create a Bitcoin bank. That's his only interest in Bitcoin. I don't trust him. He has some gold teeth with a diamond. Right there. That'd be cool. Alright, what else we got to talk about? Da-da-da-da-da. Any other questions along those terms? Moissanite is pretty cool. Diamonds are pretty cool. When there's no money, it's time to trade. True. Yeah, invest. Just do anything except hold dollar bills. U.S. currency, it's the dumbest shit you could possibly think of. Like, saving money is a form of stupidity almost. Like, why would you hold on to something that that goes down in value every single day. It's like playing slot machines. It's like playing table games at the casino. You can't beat it. You can't outsave inflation. You can't outsave money printing. You just cannot. It's like holding on to a melting ice cube, walking outside where it's 110 right now. You cannot save your way to anything. I mean, you should be liquid. You should have, some liquid funds available to you to make moves and maneuver. Ms. Google, thank you very much. I appreciate that. That is awesome of you. I do appreciate it. And I'm going to top up the tank a little bit, thanks to you. Yeah, you got to be liquid to a degree, but holding cash is, what's safer, cash or Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin goes up and down. Well, cash only goes down. There's not one time in history that fiat currency, dollar bills, $100 bills, whatever dollar bills, whatever currency it is, name one time currency ever went up. And then I'll acquiesce to the Bitcoin fiat US currency argument. Name one time in the history of money that the value of money went up, except in crypto. It only goes down. Fiat currency only goes down. Every day you have it, it's losing buying power. Every single day you hold on to it, it's going down. How is it a superior asset? It's not. It's just holding on to it's in the history of money, it's never gone up. It's never like, holy shit, my dollar bill's worth 2 now. On what planet? It only goes down. And all these people are like, oh, crypto's so dangerous. No. Green frickin' paper with dead presidents on it is frickin' dangerous. That shit's dangerous. Especially, we're at $37 trillion in debt, and this big Brazilian butt lift bill. Holy cow, we're gonna go to 40 trillion. Now, and then they're gonna turn on the money printers, and when they turn on the money printers, when they hit frickin' power it up, they turn on that money printer. You ready, Bob? All right, hit the power button, bam. Once the money starts churning out, your currency gets devalued even faster. You can almost feel it. That's where money printing equals inflation. In case you haven't figured that out yet. Why do you think houses now, average price of a home is $450,000, and right before the pandemic, it was like $185,000? Because they printed a shitload of money, an astronomical amount of money. And what had happened to it? They gave everyone stimmies and bailouts and all that other shit. They printed the money out of thin air. There's no gold. It has no value. They just made some green paper and gave it out. And the byproduct of that is the price of homes tripled. The average car is $50,000. Rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in the neighborhood someone ain't gonna clock in the head is $2,200. That's a byproduct of what they did from printing money. And they're gonna cut loose the money printers yet again. And you have no control over it. No control over it whatsoever. But Bitcoin, limited supply. Limited supply. It's only going to go up. It's going to go up and down, but ultimately it's always going to go up. There's no mathematically, and it can't be hacked. Not until they perfect quantum computing. But they won't hack the blockchain. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't hurt to have a little gold. Yeah, what I would consider exposure. It's okay to be gold adjacent, but I wouldn't carry around a satchel of it, I wouldn't just hoard coins and keep them, If someone gave me a gold coin collection, I'd keep one for posterity, I'd sell the rest and buy Bitcoin. You know, that's what I would do with it. Like, if I found a sunken treasure ship or some shit, you know, a Spanish galleon, you know, when I happen to be somewhere, oh shit, look, a treasure chest. You know, oh, Blackbeard's treasure. I'd freaking sell it and buy Bitcoin. You know? Because what are you going to do with it? You know how many stories are all over the planet, if you research it, about people who saved in gold, and they had to, like, there's a story about a family that left Cuba, and there's a family that left, you know, different places due to political unrest, and they had money, but they had it in physical gold. And there's one story where the guy's family got on this little plane, he was able to pay the dudes and whatnot, and he had like a barrel full of gold, and the dude's like, yo, this plane will not get off the ground. This plane's only, I told you, it's only for 4 people, blah, blah, blah. We can't take that shit with him. He had to leave it on the tarmac. He had to leave all that physical gold on the tarmac, you know? Physical gold. I mean, where's all these people coming from? There's like suddenly humans. Anyway. But yeah, right, Dave, if we print the money, we get in trouble. If they print the money, they screw you. You know? They screw you. Okay, how many times over? People, what? The stimmy checks were, what, 1,400? How many times over? I'm at Tamika. I'm at True Bar in Caesars, the Forum Shops. How many times over have we paid back that 1,400 bucks? How many times over? 10? 15? 20? You know? Like, how far did that get anyone? The stimulus check, you know, to sit home and stay home and put a thing over your face. Paid that back tenfold already through the inflation that money printing cycle caused. It's, I mean, I don't want to get too deep about it, but it's deep enough. I go gold panning. I love the idea of panning for gold. I love that shit. I mean, there's just something magical. I could see myself catching a case of gold fever, Miss Google. I could see myself doing that. I watch those panning channels, and they set up, you know, those rigs with the water and the mats, and they're at the end, you know, and you know, then they're sifting it. They're taking the magnets and getting the, you know, the black sand out of it, and it's, you know, yeah, I could get off on that. I could move to Alaska and do some mining and fight off the frickin' grizzly bears and shit. I find that intriguing. Same level of intriguing as solar power. You know, like getting something for nothing from the sky, getting gold from the ground just with a little sweat equity. I love that. That fascinates the heck out of me. But I would sell it and buy Bitcoin. I'll admit it. Yeah, but that's cool. That's stimulus. Yeah, exactly. That stimulus was just like, yeah, it was just like, hey, go kids. You know, we got, you know, I mean, it helped people initially. It did, you know, people were going through some hard times, but ultimately, you know, we're paying the price for it now. Whenever the money printer turns on, 2 to 3 years later, because it devalues the amount of money. There's no gold backing our money anymore. What happened to frickin' Elon? Oh, I'm gonna go to frickin' Fort Knox and see if there's gold there. He probably went there. Remember the black eye he had? He probably got socked in the eye when he brought that shit up. Ain't no frickin' gold in Fort Knox. You know, I think we all know that by now. You ever notice that after Elon got the black eye, that's when everything changed? Who punched him in the face? You ever ask yourself that? Maybe I shouldn't say it out loud. I said some shit out loud on Monday night. You notice how that video's not there anymore? I don't even remember what I said to piss off the powers that be, but I went down some frickin' avenue. That video's gone. That video's gone. I don't know what I guess, you know, we were talking about stuff like this. I don't know who did it. But, I mean, I don't even remember what I said. That shit gone. That video's like, whoop, bye. There's old Coke bottles there. Yeah, it's no gold at Fort Knox. It's like, yeah, Alan, see, yeah, he got socked in the eye. He belongs to the club, I think. Panning for gold is awesome. Gary M, what's happening? We're talking about some money stuff. But we got, let's see, it's fun so we find some, I'm just reading through chat. No, unfortunately, video poker, it's not really a sound investment. It's not a sound investment strategy. Gambling, unless you're a professional, no. There's no such thing as a professional gambler, professional loser. Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot recommend gambling as a hedge against inflation. All right, what else we got to talk about? We got to talk about other stuff. All right, 2 things we got to talk about. All right, if you want to see a cool movie, I mean, it might not be your cup of tea, but good nonetheless. Check out on Netflix Red Eye. That was a good movie. I mean, my criteria for good movie, good TV show, whatever the case may be, is whether I'm on my phone and watching it at the same time. If I'm like this, or if I'm watching a video, like if I'm doing like a human picture-in-picture, where I'm literally watching a video here and watching a movie on the TV, you know, But if I'm not even inspired to bust out the phone and I'm just watching it, then I'll call it good. Oh, you seen it, Tom? That was a good movie. I mean, there was some twists and turns, and like I didn't see the beginning coming. I did not. I mean, the last time I was that surprised at a beginning of a movie is when I watched Predator, the original Predator, because I didn't know the premise of the movie. I was just dragged to it. Some dude's like, yo, you want to go? I think it was a double date. I think I was on a double date, and some dude's like, yo, let's go see Predator. And we're like, all right, you know, whatever. Yeah. And I was surprised. Like, I thought it was like a typical, you know, shoot 'em up, freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Next thing, this freaking thing's like, I'm to him, man, this thing comes out of nowhere. It's invisible. It's shooting. It's like, whoa, where'd that come from? I was like, whoa. I had that same reaction with this movie because I'd never ever read like the paragraph to find out what something's about. I think that's like a spoiler, but yeah, I didn't see the beginning coming. I was just like, oh, this is kind of romantic. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of romantical in the beginning, and you know, a little tension and whatnot. And then I was like, damn, that was a good movie. That was, yeah. So if you want to watch a good movie to be entertained, I haven't seen the animated Predator movie yet. No, I have not seen that. Yeah, Predator is a masterpiece. I mean, there's certain franchises I'm into. I'll watch anything Predator. I'll watch anything Matrix. I'll watch anything John Wick. Certain franchises, I'm just like, yeah, I'll show up a little late, you know, it's on. Yeah, the Predator franchise is one of them. Yeah, big time. Yeah. Do you know that both writers of The Matrix switched teams? Both of them, the two brothers, are now two sisters? I was like, wait a second. Yeah, I just found that out. It's a little bit disappointing. I mean, to each their own. If you want to do that, fine. But it's like, how could it be both? One, the other? No, both. They were just like, high five, let's do it. Okay, cool. All right, whatever. The pink hair, the whole bit. The guy in the red eye. Yeah, Peaky fucking Blinders. That's where he's from. I couldn't figure it out. You're right. Thank you, Tom. Couldn't figure out what that Killian something or other. Yeah, Peaky frickin' Blinders. All right, that's where I know him from. And that chick was cool too, you know, who was in the movie. She was good. And the dad was familiar too. Who was the dad? The dad's been in a bunch of stuff too, but it was like such a laid back. I don't think I was just supposed to see what I just saw. Anyway, yeah, the dad was kind of laid back. Yeah, Murphy, Cillian Murphy. But yeah, Peaky fucking Blinders. Peaky Blinders was awesome. I still want to eventually get a Peaky Blinders suit, like the whole get up and just walk around like all Peaky Blindered out. Strange New Worlds is coming on the 17th. I'm looking forward to that. I wish they'd come out with something on the level of Breaking Bad. I agree. That Breaking Bad was classic. Better Call Saul was pretty freaking awesome. Except at the end, you know, he acquiesced. He knew he was going to jail, but he just wanted to make sure the chick who hated him was okay. That was a little. That was kind of a buzzkill. And then you heard the XRP.
Well, I got about $50,000 in it, so
Bro,
hoping it goes.
there you go. XRP. I told you they were listening in. That was the dude, that chick's old man. She's like, XRP. Do I talk loud? All right, all you people who know me, who sat next to me, do I talk loud? I must talk loud, but I'm yelling. Yeah, maybe I'm animated. Yeah, XRP. It's got 50K in XRP. Homeboy's on the way to being a millionaire. What up? Alright. I gotta redo my chat. I must have got hit with a commercial. Okay, so Peaky, dude from Peaky, it's a good movie. Just check out Red Eye. You'll be happy. It'll be good. Alright, now we gotta talk about something else. Also on Netflix. Check out the last. I mean, you might have to suffer through the first 2 seasons of Squid Game. I found them, and the first one was gory AF. It was gory AF. If you're not familiar with Squid Game, you know, I'm not going to break down the whole thing. The first one was gory. The second one was like, okay, I see where you're going with this, kind of. The third one, this is the final season. Oh my goodness. I mean, even if you weren't a fan, I mean, twists and turns and plots, and it was just so well done. I cannot tell you. They thought through everything, you know, from the character development to, I mean, it was deep. It was deep. It was like, I just found myself going, like, just going from one extreme to the other. Like, F you know, to holy shit. It was just, yeah, it was an emotional roller coaster. It was. I mean, right from the start. It's not long. It's only like 6 episodes or whatever it is, 8 episodes at most. But the ending, holy shit. The middle, holy shit. It was just, you know, like the other ones, you know, they got really into the game and they licked the cookie, you know, the whole bit. But this one was, I mean, they just tried their best to keep you on the edge of your seat the entire time, and mission accomplished. Mission freaking accomplished. It was, I mean, they brought in different characters, and it was good. It was good. Oh, the baby. Oh my god. I don't want to spoil it. I mean, just the introduction of that was genius. The way they developed the, you know, the people behind the scenes, it was amazing. It was amazing. The direction, who wrote it, I mean, they did a hell of a job. I mean, the last episode was like, it's almost worth watching twice, because you're just like, no, yeah, no. It's just like, it's a trip. It'll put you through your paces. It might even bring a tear or two to your eye. I'll tell you what, it ain't gonna bring a tear to your eye like listening to Ozzy sing "Mama, I'm Coming Home." I was all sorts of choked up listening to, I mean, that's a deep emotional song anyway, but watching Ozzy basically sing his own funeral was, woo, that hit different. That hit, Ozzy fan or not, but that hit different. I was always a Black Sabbath Ozzy fan, but ooh, that got me. That got me in all the feels, as the cool kids say. Mama, I'm coming home. And laugh made me cry. And say goodbye. Mama, I'm coming home. I could be right, I could be wrong. So long. Oh, whoo! Wow, Ozzy. Ugh. Vegas strong. I wish invaders of Vegas leave with absolutely no swag. They know who they are. I don't know who you're talking about. Going to Denny's tomorrow. They're reviewing the horror. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, going to Denny's. I'll just have to hide the camera going through. That's a good idea, Mike. Through Casino Royale, because I did have that falling out with them. Yeah, I mean, Ozzy couldn't even stand up anymore, but they put him on a good throne. They hooked up our boy Ozzy. I mean, yeah. I went to a couple, when I was a kid, I used to work the circuses at Madison Square Garden for Harry M. Stevens, selling programs. I literally had many programs, get your program. You know, my voice is like that. I used to, like, at freaking 14, I had a work permit, like, you know, child labor permit. Get your programs, or whatever. And then, like, pick them up off the floor and turn them in, you know, keep them on. Did I say that? No, I knew. Yeah. The reason why I did it is because if you did the circuses, you'd get to see all the concerts. And I saw Ozzy in concert a couple of times. I saw Ozzy and The Dead, and, you know, also I saw REO Speedwagon. You know, this is like, I was like a kid, a child. You know, friggin' Ozzy. Deep. Mama, I'm coming home. Woo! Mama, I'm coming home. Blue Oyster Cult, yeah. Going to Denny's, that's a good idea. Cate Blanchett. Where was Cate Blanchett? What was she in? Cate Blanchett. Now they're making an American version. Yeah, I saw the one where they tried to make, like, Squid Games a real reality show, and I couldn't stand that version. It was kind of like, but yeah, this one, worth watching. I mean, it wasn't as gory, but it didn't need to be. It was just suspenseful, thriller, emotional. I mean, at the end, Cate Blanchett? What's that on? I don't know. I gotta look that up, yeah. It was emotional. I don't get all emotional. Yeah, I do. I admit it. And it's been so long, Mama, I'm coming home. And you told me lies, you had me hypnotized, yeah. Lost and found around the fire in your eyes. I see your face 1,000 times. Every day we've been apart. I don't get that this time. 'Cause Mama. It's gonna be in the American version. Your first concert was Kiss, then Peter Frampton. Peter Frampton. My sister used to have, like, posters of Peter Frampton. I had posters of Farrah Fawcett, and she had posters of Peter Frampton and Leif Garrett. I remember that. Like 17 magazine and Tiger Beat and shit. Yeah, I remember them days. Way back in the days. Alright, let's get at this coffee. Should we talk about alligators? The alligator place? I think that's what got my other video taken down. They didn't strike the channel, but they took down the video. What were we talking about? No, don't tell me what we were talking about. I mean, it sucked that people didn't. I thought that was a pretty good episode. You know, we hung out at Aria and whatnot, but yeah. Deep Purple. Yeah. Are we gonna buy merch from there? But there's mosquitoes here. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. There's mosquitoes there. Mama, I'm coming home. So, should I come out tomorrow night? Maybe I will. Showing my age, but Buckingham's and the Turtles in grade school. I hear it. Okay. You know what I grew up on because of my mom's? My mom's had, she literally had one of those record players that had like the fabric on the outside and you know, with the needle and everything. With the cone to put the 45s instead of the 33s. She had, I mean, I could sing almost all the words to the Herman Hermits. You know, I can, because, and she was an Elvis fan. She was into Herman's Hermits. She even had some monkeys. Herman's Hermits. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. I listened to that shit as a kid. You know, that's like a gen before me. But Henry VIII, I am. She's been married 7 times before. And everyone was a Henry VIII, I am. Yeah, I grew up listening to that on frickin' 45s. Henry VIII. Yeah. Herman's Hermits. And I used to go back. I used to look, because that's, you know, it's all, you know, Mom had the collection, so I used to. Henry VIII, I am. The Doors, oh my God. The Doors, I mean, to this day I listen to the Doors, and that's a gen thing too. But the Doors, that's a given. The Doors, abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, it's embedded in my mind. I listen to it over and over and over. Herman's Hermits. The Doors. She wasn't into the Doors. I got into them, like, you know, growing up in Brooklyn and in Queens. You know, it's like everything's like 10, 15, 20 years behind. When I was a kid, you'd literally go out and 50s music would be on. You know, everywhere you went, it was the 70s, you know, into the 80s when I was a kid, and you'd hear 50s music still playing. Dudes still with like a pack of cigarettes rolled up in their sleeve and shit. You know? And you'd be like, oh, okay, you know, that's just indicative of, you know, small neighborhoods and shit like that. But yeah, it was 50s, so they were always stuck behind. But I grew up listening to the Doors too. You know, even though it was already the 80s, the Doors were like still being blasted everywhere. Every corner bar, every barbershop, you know, was still playing the Doors. Motley Crue and Faster Pussycats. What up, Bill? Oh, if you still have your albums in 45s, that's a good thing. The Doors are awesome. Tamika, I used to be looking at the posters at the record shops. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember, you know, when, like, I was little. I was little, but I could still go a hip, a hop, a hibbity, the hibbity, hip, hip, you hop, and you don't stop. You know, I could still do that to this day. Curtis Blow and whatnot, to this day, I can still drop some bars with them, you know? This day. Music is always like, music will take me back. Whenever I hear Sade, you know, I'm in a certain place in my mind. Whenever I hear some old, whatever, 90s musically, I'm kind of stuck there. Nothing nothing ever tops that in my mind musically. 90s rap and hip hop, 90s alt rock. It's just where it's at for me. But yeah, music has a way, you know. Music has a way about it. You know, Curtis Blow. Doo-wop. Like, I grew up, everyone's still listening to like the doo-wop. I guess the way I'm stuck in the 90s, and to me, musically, you know, I'm still, that's my headspace. That's the music that I enjoy the most, given an opportunity. I mean, today, you know, I listen to, I was on Amazon Music, and they're like a station based on Jelly Roll. So I listened to all that modern, I don't even know what you call it, like cowboy rap or something like that. You know, with like Hardy and, you know, all those guys that rapping, but, you know, like, you know, cowboy beats and whatever. I didn't know what that music is. And then I'd listen to like dark country sometimes, you know, that it's like, you know, heavy metal, but it's country heavy metal. I'm eclectic when it comes to that, you know. I'll listen to like Ella Fitzgerald too, you know, the next day. But given a choice, you know, I'll always lean, if I have nothing else to listen to, I'm like alternative 90s rock, or, you know, some hip hop, some Biggie, some Busta Rhymes and whatnot. But yeah, so I guess it was like the same thing. Like people who, if I were playing the 90s right here, it would probably sound like when I was a kid listening to doo-wop from the 50s, you know? It's probably like the same thing, you know? But how can you not like Screaming Trees? How can you not like that? I don't know. People crazy like that. English Acquaintance. How you doing? Yeah, like, what's a soundtrack, you know? I think personally, besides that, I think, you know, humanity peaked in the 90s, even if you weren't a 90s young adult or whatever. You know, like I was a 90s young adult for the most part. But, yeah, Blondie's Rapture. Yeah, of course. Quiet Riot. Yeah, music is intense. Music can even make you smell shit, you know? Like, you listen to music and, like, you're like, how come I'm smelling my 1990 Camaro? It's a trip. Music associates a lot of things. Good times, bad times, you know, I've had my share. Like, that's another thing. Holy cow. Once you got out of the 50s in Brooklyn and Queens, then it became the 60s. Like, it was all about, I never got into the Who per se. I never got into like the ballad music, like Journey and Rush, and you know, that never worked for me. But yeah, Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, you know, things like that. Yeah, I can get down with. How about Meatloaf? 'Cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I want you, I need you, but there ain't no way I'm ever gonna love you. Now don't be sad, don't be sad, 'cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Meatloaf is just cool. Paradise by the Dashboard Lights, come on. Come on, seriously? Paradise by the Dashboard Lights, I mean, jeez. Casino Slot Couple, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Yeah, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. I went. That was one of the concerts I worked for work at Harry M. Stevens. I ended up going to Pink Floyd The Wall. That was pretty friggin' intense. And yet another commercial, just being absolutely decimated by commercials. Pink Floyd. Bocelli is good too. Like I said, I'm eclectic. I'll listen to Bocelli. I'll listen to, I've been listening to Christmas music because it is Christmas in July. I've been getting down with some Christmas tunes too. The tide is high and I'm rolling on. I wanna be your number one. Alison Krauss, yeah. I could still listen to like Melissa Etheridge once in a while. I could bust some of her out. I could listen to what's the other one? Swing Out Sister. I mean, I'm all over the place musically. You know, whatever I'm happen to be in the mood for. I tend to like female artists a lot. Not a lot, but you know, they're a good palate cleanser for the rest of the stuff that I listen to. Belinda Carlisle, yeah, I remember you telling me that, with the Go-Go's. Before the boy bands. Am I bringing back memories for everyone? Is everyone getting on board with that? I gotta fix my shirt again. This is a shirt that from a distance looks like I'm naked. That's fun. I can still see paradise by the dashboard lights. Matter of fact, I got on this phone, I'm gonna Bluetooth it to the vehicle. I got Meatloaf on there. I mean, I could still listen to like LL Cool J and get down, doing it. I could listen to some LL Cool J. Yeah. I played what was I just listening to? I just listened to the entire 50 Cent album yesterday. You know, Die Trying or whatever it was. And then I listened to Harry Connick Jr.'s Christmas hits, you know? I mean, I'm all over the place musically. And I like it. So I don't find no music technically irritates me. Like some people like cringe over music. They're just like, ugh. I mean, certain things, like I said, ballad music, I'm just like, whatever. But then you talk about Billy Joel, that's all he did was ballad music per se. And I freaking like Billy Joel. So it's just, I don't know. I never got into like the hair bands or whatever. I mean, I'll listen to Pantera all day, but you know, like the glam bands and whatever, you know, it's just like, yikes, no. I was security for Bow Wow Wow singing, I want candy. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, and Tom, I do listen to that. It's one of the only CDs I pop in the vehicle. My vehicle does have a CD player. You know, it is over 5 years old. Yeah, the Big Head Tom is in the Big Head Tom. Big Head Todd is in the player there. Yeah, good memories. Stevie Nicks. I mean, Sinead O'Connor. I mean, she got the bad rap, but you know, a couple of the songs like Emperor Has No Shoes or whatever. I mean, that's a great album. Sinead O'Connor, that album kicks ass. The one, you know, she came out and talked some shit about the Pope, and then she was like, you know, yeah, she was like ostracized for doing that. MTV, yeah, MTV. Yo, the frickin' shows, the streaming services are getting out of control. They are worse now than what frickin' YT is doing. Pluto is almost unwatchable. There's 90 to 120 seconds of commercials every 4 or 5 minutes now. Or maybe once they figure out you're engaged in something and you want to watch all the episodes, it's almost unwatchable. 5 minutes, 2 minutes of commercial. 5 minutes, 2 minutes of commercials. You can't skip them. Pluto's almost unwatchable at this point. They're all getting just so horrible. It's almost unwatchable at this stage of the game. It's like, and the ones that you pay for are just such insult to injury. So you mean I have to pay to watch commercials? You know, that was like the early days of cable. The whole premise was, oh, you never have to watch commercials again. Just give us your money. Oh, you want to not watch commercials on cable? Give us more money. You know, and it's the same thing. Oh, you don't want to watch commercials anymore. You got to buy the premium version. It's like, whatever, bro. Yeah, but Pluto's almost unwatchable at this point. I mean, I can't even watch like old episodes of, I used to just pop on like old episodes, the original episodes of Star Trek. So it's unwatchable. You know, the old episodes of Star Trek are only like 36 minutes long. And there's a commercial break like every 4 minutes. And they're not 30 seconds, they're like 2 minutes. And then they have that like countdown up in the corner. and you can't even see it move. You're just like, oh my God. Unbearable. Unbearable. Totally unfreaking bearable. Nothing compares to you. Yeah, those are good. Sinead O'Connor. All right, people. I think I'm gonna get going. Let me check Super Chat activities. Nope, we good there. I thanked everyone. And all right, so there is a chance. What? No rap music for you? I can turn you on to some like mellow rap music. The new rap music, the mumble rap stuff. You know, my bitch is in my hose, my bitch is in my hole. Gag. That's for very weak minds. I don't get that. Maybe I'm just like, get off my lawn, you whippersnappers. I'm not that old, but I just, nah. All right, people. Is a chance I'm gonna come out tomorrow night? I don't know, because I'm finally, after like a month and a half of Michael frickin' Angelo in the hell out of all those holes in my walls from the old studio, I'm finally ready to paint. Like, I blended everything. It looks perfect. It's primed. This weekend, I'm gonna get down and I am gonna paint. I gotta paint the ceiling, repaint the ceiling. I'm gonna do the trim, the doors, the walls, the various shades of whites and grays, and I gotta move all the furniture out, and yeah, so this weekend's gonna be a project, but I gotta hit it head on. I can't avoid it anymore because I'm tired of living in, like, half the shit that's in that room is sitting in my living room. You know, it's just like, ugh. Yeah, so I'm gonna be painting this weekend. Finally, I can start moving on. So yeah, there is a chance if I do have a productive day tomorrow. I was up at like 5:05 this morning, so I'm gonna try to get to sleep early if there's a chance that I will come out tomorrow and we'll go look at the Hard Rock. If not, we'll do it Monday. But the only way you're gonna know if I'm gonna do it is if you like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button to get notified if I do this again, which is at least 2 times a week. And if you want to support the channel, all the stuff's down there. I appreciate it. And welcome on board all you new subscribers. And shout out Portfolios. Shout out Fresh New Beginnings. Fresh New Beginnings. I think that's going to be the theme of next week. Fresh New Beginnings. You ready, everyone? Let's have a fresh new beginning. I love you guys. And on that note, roar for the